The following podcast contains real reviews and the ridiculous reactions of two would-be oracles of the internet. The opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Seriously.
My God, it's a scary episode of ReviewParty.com. Welcome, I'm Scary Brent.
I am Scary Matt. Scared Matt.
And this week we got an episode. It's about reviews from the internet. Just one of the scariest things out there existentially right now.
Truly,
like
yes.
Reviews, tweets, clickbait headlines, like all that stuff. It'll kill you. So we're gonna tell you how to protect yourself from the internet at large, especially the reviews. And this week we're gonna be scary and scared while we do it. So it's gonna be really crazy.
Man,
I feel like you got some scary stuff over there. You want to share?
Yeah, I think I don't wanna show my hand just yet, so I'll show my feet instead. I'm going to go with like an opener instead of, sometimes baseball managers are like, I know what I'm doing. They actually say, I'm just going to throw a shorty out there to start us off. I got from Amazon the Nicky Biggs Novelties Jumbo Bigfoot Shoe Covers Funny Barefeet Slippers Caveman Monster Realistic Giant Feet Adult Halloween Costume Accessories.
Some Bigfoot slippers?
It's like they look like the human feet. Send you a picture right here.
Oh, they're not comfy slippers. They're rubbery and evil.
Yes, they are. They're mold-formed human Caucasian toned feet. If you want to be a hobbit, maybe.
The toes are kind of webbed.
They're uncanny and gross. I'm gonna start us off with a review from Connor Adams. Connor titles the review "Big Toe Make You Wet," and Connor writes, "I mean, ... Do you see me? Who wouldn't want this drip?" 5 stars, and I'll just send you the picture, and we can bounce off that a little bit.
Oh my God. So someone is having it as legitimately a part of the outfit, I think.
Yeah, this doesn't even seem like costume. This is just like, this is a fit.
They're going to the club and they've painted with red toenail paint on these big feet. I'm kind of terrified.
Yeah, on top of that, they've got like the polyvinyl lycra spandex leggings, vinyl puffer jacket, and do you know they've got the matching hand bra? It
right,
just looks like
is that the one that's got going there? That's the connection to the outfit. Yeah, they have like a top that's just like it's mesh see-through, except over the boobies, it's like these hands, fabric hands. I don't know if that connection's worth putting the outfit together. So. You could probably cover your feet in poop and then wear a poop shirt, but it wouldn't be a very good outfit still.
Either way, it unsettled me when I saw it.
Yeah, that's scary.
I think that's the right energy we need to be in for the Halloween episode, though. So let's hit me with something with some substance.
Yeah, now that we're thoroughly scared, I'll start with a movie. I do a little movie review that's pretty popular. The Amazon movie review for The Grudge 2004. This is a movie that no one shut up about when it came out, and no one really talks about it anymore. But Dave's not here, man. They want to tell us all about it. This is fresh 2025 review here. A remake that almost surpasses the original classic. They write, the original film scared the heck out of me. Utilizing aspects of kabuki theater, it stands at the very pinnacle of J-horror and ranks high in the horror film genre in general. This alongside The Ring or original Ring-Oo, both have the subtle, hard to reproduce, utterly effective creep factor. Pure, undiluted horror is captured in this approach like nothing else. Vengeful spirits are very much real in the material world, able to act upon it and interact in deadly, violent ways with the living. Pretty much guaranteed to raise hairs on the back of your neck and make you nervous walking around the house at night after the first viewing. The original films are a bit dated now, if still great. This remake modernizes The Grudge back up to full-on creep fest. The entire apartment building sequence with the little boy on every floor of elevator ride and she's in your bed scenes are remarkably well done. The final stairway scene, after seeing these films probably 8 times, this probably has a tendency to get, this still has a tendency to get to me. These films are certainly among my all-time favorites, are truly frightening, well beyond the typical slasher films, and are haunting me well beyond the most haunting of films. Unique and intriguing story of infidelity, deadly jealousy, vengeance, and the fury of a woman scorned from beyond the grave. Scary and great in equal measure 5 stars.
So cheesing your bed? What is that, man?
Cheesing your bed. I missed that one.
Or did I miss it?
She is in your bed.
Okay.
I thought, man,
the cheesing your bed scene.
That's when everyone gets in and is smiling. They're all cheese in your bed.
Okay. Well,
I think it's a damn demon in the bed, not some cheese, unfortunately.
Yeah, that'd be spooky. That cranks it up from just like a horse's head in your bed to creepy lady.
Your blanket is in my mind, your paranormal activity shield. The boogeyman can't get you from grabbing your toes from under the bed if you got, your toes nice and under the blanket. Nothing bad's going to happen. Yeah,
tuck them sheets tight. I don't know. These stories, these movies did have a different, obviously they're not slashers. They're not stabby, crunch people's skulls type movies. They're spooky, ghosty stories that, just use your already implanted fear of bumps and thumps and creaks and whose creepy black hair is that? Oh, there's more hair. Ooh, scary hair and something in my bed.
Someone plugged my drain. Nasty little horror movie curse child came in here and shaved their head in my shower.
Man, that's such an asshole.
That scared the shit out of me. The drain plugging ghost.
Ugh.
I'd be pissed and scared.
Man, I gotta go get some Roto-Rooter or something and some Green Goblin. Drop it down there.
Yeah, the Green Goblin, that'll kill the ghost too. It's got the creep. I guess that's the creep factor they're talking about.
It is the creep factor, guaranteed to make your hairs stand on end, guaranteed to make you jump higher and run faster than any kid up his basement stairs when you're home alone.
Maybe professional athletes are just very paranoid people. They can achieve those great athletic feats because they're like, what if there's a ghost behind me? And then they run really fast.
That's what they're watching on those screens after a play goes wrong. Look at this. Oh!
Right. They got a little, they get out their little iPads to show them the play, but it's actually someone photoshopped some ghosts chasing behind them to motivate them to be a little quicker.
Look, we found this old book in the library. It says, if you don't get that football back before midnight, your soul will forever be cursed. So you better go get that football back.
Ooh, like zoinks! Yeah, the baseball players, there's ghosts in all the balls. That's why they hit them so hard, and that's why when they get them in their hand, they throw it out of their hand really fast.
I would too.
Yeah, the pitchers are actually why they fucking diddle the ball so much before they throw it. They're putting like ghost energy inside it. So pitchers are actually like necromancers.
Whoa, that's pretty sick.
You heard it here first. Hideki Matsui. He's I don't know. I don't even know what position Hideki Matsui plays. It's just the first Japanese baseball player name that came to mind. Do you have a review?
Yeah, I got a couple of reviews here. I'm throwing it back to the classic Halloween episode bucket. I went to, what is it called? Caskets.com. All caskets. Getyourcaskethere.com. Overnight caskets. That's what it is.
That's very important.
And I found some reviews here for the White Crosses Lord's Prayer casket with white velvet interior metal casket. Got a review here from Alexander Kozlinov titled, oh no, it's just the name of the product, no title. Alexander writes, in January, when my first brother died, we got a casket at the funeral home in God's hands, and it's much cheaper online and more variety. And I lost another brother 7 months later, so definitely order online. It was delivered on time, and casket was beautiful. 5 stars.
I mean, I think about it, when you're old, people just be dropping in your life.
Dropping.
I'm in the, closer to 30 than 40, but I already feel like people just be dying, so I don't even imagine what it's like being 70.
This sounded like the opening of Twelfth Night, talking about the heiress Olivia. We're like, well, why doesn't she want to marry the Duke? Oh, because her father died, and then when her brother was put in charge, then he died. Now she's just a sad lady who doesn't want any Duke wooing her. Yeah, I don't know. Alexander's gonna mourn for 7 years, I think.
They're dropping this is like the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, man.
Ugh.
Someone's got to go save this guy.
He's the last Ryan.
Right.
I got another review here from Anonymous. They write, the arrival of the casket was swift, and its appearance exceeded my expectations. I had initial concerns about the color, fearing it might not be an appealing white, and worried about the possibility of cheap and gaudy accent details. To my delight, the color turned out to be a pristine and bright white, and the accents are tastefully done. The interior materials were of high quality, and the embroidered Lord's Prayer added a thoughtful touch. While there was a minor issue with a, quote, new smell, it dissipated after airing out a bit. Overall, my family and I are extremely satisfied with the casket, considering it a fitting final resting place for our loved one. 5 stars.
Got this is a vehicle to the afterlife. Got to have that new car smell.
I want that new casket smell. Come on.
Hey, if I'm a corpse and I'm stepping into the casket, and take a little. Where's that new casket? You get me used here?
What's going on?
Don't tell me you got a used casket. That's just tacky. That's tackier than any embroidery or off-white.
In my living and breathing days, sure, I love a good pine cedar scent, but if you put me in just a pine or cedar box, I don't know if I'm feeling as good. I want that new plush interior. Ooh.
Right. I want a whole tachometer in front of me. Miles per hour, kilometers per hour, the whole night. Who knows what kind of journey I'm going on now.
I want that cabin circulation, please. You don't know what sort of funky formaldehyde I've been preserved with.
If my casket doesn't have a dirt roof, then what are we even doing?
I want to see those worms just aching to try and get a bite of me.
You can't give me any of your worms. I'm decaying I'm turning to goo by my damn self.
It's on my own time.
I'm going to fill up this casket like a tub, and you can't do nothing about it, worms.
Man, yeah, thankfully, as you said, we're getting older, and as you get older, more people start dying that you know. But thankfully, I haven't had to be like on the front lines of one of these things where I've had to worry about details.
Sure.
But I don't really have to imagine that it's a stressful time with all sorts of things to worry about. But man, I don't know that the scent of the casket is going to be something like, man, we got to air this thing out a few days before Pop gets inside. Like, are you expecting people to comment on it at the wake? Oh.
Yeah, who's going to be sniffing up over there? And the corpse doesn't mind.
No. Is it bad enough that you're thinking, oh, we got to keep this sucker closed?
Imagine going to a funeral and there is just some little trees hanging off all the handles on the outside of the coffin. Like 30 of them.
Woo! I promise you, it's the casket. It's not Dad. Just that casket's pretty ripe.
Yeah, I got some black ice to take care of it, though. We'll be good.
The black ice. Oh. It's what Dad would have wanted.
Yeah, it does smell like weird Old Spice.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll take a break there. The spirits, the ghouls, are chomping at our feet here. Give us a second.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of the episode, and welcome to great reviews in history.
Clapping noises. I'm holding my mic so I can't clap, but maybe I'll add some in post. Spooky clapping noises.
Spooky. Great reviews in history. It's where we go to historical sources, whether it's from 1990 or 1933, and find things that people said about things back then, and sometimes it's enlightening or funny or just quirky. And today, on Almost Halloween, I have gone back to some 1930s newspapers to hear what they were saying about Boris Karloff's The Mummy.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
I don't think this one's remembered in the same sort of fondness, at least these days, as the other Universal monster sort of OGs.
I don't know. I think props to Brendan Fraser and the gang. They made a good movie that people really like, and no one thinks about little Boris shuffling with strips of cotton on his face.
Yeah, they had the whole damn sand to be in The Mummy, man. Not just some dude shuffling.
Well, in any case, I've got some reviews, as I said, from old newspapers, because back in these days, movies were still pretty dang new, and so they're always fascinated by costumes and prosthetics and just moving images that are weird as they describe scary things. And so I'm going to start off. Also, they sometimes just give you almost the whole plot in the review because they feel like they need to describe what a movie is. So, from the Cumberland Evening Times from Saturday, January 21st, 1933, Cumberland, Maryland, I have The Mummy. Whether or not you believe in reincarnation, you will certainly be intrigued and thrilled to your very marrow by Universal's fantastic The Mummy, which opens an engagement at the Strand Theatre tonight and will be shown also Sunday midnight. It is the most weirdly fascinating film with the most unusual and bizarre theme this reviewer has ever seen. The mummy reaches back into the mists of antiquity and uncovers a love which existed 3,700 years ago in the days of the Egyptian pharaohs, but its main story is modern in background and theme. Karloff makes his starring debut in this picture. His mummy is so real, so death-like, that it is almost unbelievable. The great makeup artists prove conclusively that he is supreme in his field of characterization. Zita Johann is a new, exotic actress who will be remembered by those who saw her on Broadway. David Manners, Arthur Byron, Edward Van Sloan, and Branwell Fletcher also carry off dramatic roles with finesse. The Mummy possesses some of the most arrestingly beautiful sets seen in a long time. Delighted by William Pogany, the work of Karl Freund, who moved up to director's chair for The Mummy, is splendid. See it. You'll enjoy every minute of The Mummy. That's a short one to get us started. But any thoughts? Well,
I liked it. It is, like we talked about, it's sort of quaint the way they're so shaken by these movies that we think are very campy now.
Yeah.
It would be shaken to your freaking marrow, brother.
Yeah, there were a few turns of phrases that I really liked. Shaken to your marrow, and that the mummy is death-like in appearance as opposed to lifelike. I was like, very nice. Very nice.
Smart.
Next up, I've got from the Oklahoma News, Sunday, January 8th, 1933. This must be playing at the Midwest Theater. When you were a tadpole and I was a fish, in the Paleozoic time, and side by side on the ebbing tide, we sprawled through the ooze and slime. Langdon Smith. I'm guessing that's just like from a poem about lovers over time. Continuing, just as expected, this thing called undying love isn't what the poets would have us believe. For instance, some 3,700 years ago, Imhotep, an Egyptian high priest, had what we moderns would call a purple love affair with Isis. I forgot. I wanted to look up what a purple love affair means. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm on it.
As modern listeners, I don't know what a purple love affair is.
Google's not autofilling it.
They don't know, man.
It does. Google. All I'm getting is this a dance a fundraiser at a dance club called the Purple Love Affair Night for Vitiligo Awareness Month. DJ Blackboy and DJ Patrice are going to be there, but I don't know about what the turn of phrase means.
All right, well, we're in the dark there. Anyway, a purple love affair with Isis, a Vestal virgin. Because he loved unwisely and unwell, Imhotep was buried alive. Down through the ages, in each successive incarnation, Imhotep pursued the fair Isis. And in the end...
I got the definition.
Let's go.
Think. A lavender marriage is a male-female mixed orientation marriage undertaken as a marriage of convenience to conceal the socially stigmatized sexual orientation of one or both partners.
Okay, I think I've heard about that recently.
So the mummy's gay.
Mummy's, yeah. In the end, he is given the Egyptian equivalent to the Bronx cheer for his 3,700 years of arduous wooing. I don't know what a Bronx cheer is either. Whatever. Thus, The Mummy, the latest worn-wood fantasy of Boris Karloff, teaches us the moral that the man pays, even though it be on the installment plan. Karloff, after devoting 3,700 years of his existence to Isis, Zita Johann, is literally humiliated to dust again after he watches her fall in love with a younger man, some 3,675 years younger, in fact. Of course, some would find it difficult to understand why any girl would prefer this younger man to a mummy, no matter how ancient, but such is the case. Although The Mummy falls roughly into the same category as such pictures as Dracula and Frankenstein, it has none of the more or less revolting horror of the latter two. The Mummy was gentler on the cinematic nerve centers, and far more wholesomely entertaining than most films of the boogeyman cycle. Karloff, dead for 3,700 years, starts roaming the banks of the Nile again after he comes to life when a British scientist who has discovered the mummy reads magic words from a scroll found in the tomb. The mummy, in the garb of a modern Egyptian, starts in quest of Isis, his mumsy of ages ago. I think that's a term of endearment, mumsy.
Yeah, that's a good little pun there, I think.
Directing an expedition, he finds the tomb, and Mumsy is taken to the museum. Into the museum, Karloff steals late at night and reads the magic scroll. Performance of the Egyptian hex ritual before the Mumsy fails to bring her to life. The hex, however, does cast a spell over Zita Johann, who is lured from a dance to the museum by Karloff's cosmic urge. Zita then finds she is the Isis, the erring Vestal Virgin reincarnate. Although she falls in love with David Manners, she cannot resist the hex of Karloff, whose incantations draw her to him. Karloff convinces her that it is necessary for him to kill her so that her soul will wander no more throughout the ages. Then he promises they will be joined in eternal love and bliss. David and a companion arrive in Karloff's mystic shrine, but are unable to rescue because of the mummy's hypnotic power. Down Zita kneels before an ancient image. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. Karloff is reduced to dust. The hex is lifted from fair Zita. The Sphinx breaks out in a spring song, and all is well. Yeah. And then somebody talks about the makeup, and I don't feel like reading about that.
It's sort of a common. It's a nice to see trope that isn't as popular anymore in these movies. The scary monsters just wants the girl, is just there to be with some girl from the past life or whatever.
Yeah, man. Ooh, pretty girl. Boogie boogie.
Yeah, Nosferatu. In the remake, they're very smart about it. They make her the main character. They give her a lot more agency. You know, it's a smart retelling. But here it's, does it sound like the most just sad, pathetic example of, they went in the place and, they're going to do this. But actually, she just ends up bowing to an image of him. So, but I guess that's all to say. Why do these ladies from the 30s like creepy men so much? Or why did the men making these movies want them to like creepy men so much?
Interesting. There was an ugliness epidemic, maybe.
Yeah, there's lots of ugly fucking dudes making movies.
Gotta get him to like us somehow.
Maybe if we make a bunch of movies where the ladies love the freak, maybe there's hope for me.
What are in the pictures, girl? Don't you know?
Listen, didn't you see that Swamp Thing movie? The ladies love men that look like me.
So hunky. All right, I got one more. This guy or lady seemed to write with just a tongue in cheek, more so than the others I found. So I have from the Australasian from Saturday, March 18th, 33, excuse me. Pictures of the week. The Mummy, playing at the Regent. This is another picture delivered to the consumer direct from the ice of the Cold Shivers store. Goose flesh and creepy backbones guaranteed. It is all about a mummy that comes to life after 4,500 years, and who aspires to marry a 20th century girl, and so change himself from a mummy into a daddy.
Ooh. Father.
While in the ordinary course of events, I think it is possible for a married happiness to exist where there is a considerable disparity between the ages of husband and wife. I do think that where the husband is 4,480 years his bride's senior, that the disparity is a bit overdone. However, that is merely an individual opinion. Perhaps there are girls who would risk it as a last chance. From the film, we gather that an Egyptian curate fell in love with a temple maiden who died. The bright laddie evolved the idea of stealing a sacred scroll that contained a recipe for resurrecting pretty girls, and of eloping with deceased damsels. He was just getting busy with his incantation stuff when a vicar, or something of the kind, arrived and brought him before the archbishop, who sentenced him to be mummified alive, and the sacred scroll buried with him. That is how it all began. Boris Karloff, as usual, takes the nasty part of the mummy, Imhotep, who, when he came to life again, called himself a Bey. It's B-Y. But between ourselves, from the size of him, he looks more like a lighthouse than a Bey. When the picture opens, we are at the camp of a British archaeological party who have just dug up a mummy, who, though they are unaware of it, is the frisky Im. They also find the box with the scroll, and a junior member of the party, disregarding the curses on the box, opens it and unconsciously resurrects Im, and gets such a surprise when the mummy sheds its dusty raiment and goes for a stroll that he laughs himself into a mental home. Boris Karloff as the mummy, however, is not much of a joke. The slow animation of the horror in the mummy requires a very keen sense of humor to provoke a smile. As a living being, the new Im is a distinctly poisonous person. He can not only use television for his unpleasant purposes, but also possesses a dirty system of being able to strangle people by wireless. I don't really know what that means. In addition, he is also an expert at mesmerism. There ought to be legislation against practices like this. 10 years later, Im sees in Cairo a nice girl named Helen Grosvenor, who has Egyptian blood in her, and from her likeness to his temple girl, he concludes that she is his old flame reincarnated, and immediately decides that Im and will be married. Then the trouble really begins. As a Romeo aged 4,500 years, there is nothing of shilly-shallying or indecision about Im, who brings all his battery of mesmerism, television, and wireless strangling into action at once. That Helen is engaged to marry an attractive young Englishman named Frank is nothing to Im. Of course, when you come to think of it, Im has more than 4,000 years priority for his claim, and it is rather a nerve for Frank to pinch his girl. By pinch, I mean, of course, to alienate her affections. Fortunately for Frank and Helen, there is an Austrian professor in Cairo who knows all about the ancient Egyptian temple practices, and he diagnoses that the supposed Bey is really Im, the missing mummy. But a peculiar scientific methods of lovemaking and aggression make him a rather tough problem to tackle. By a lot of dirty work, Im gets Helen into a temple where it is necessary to kill her and resurrect her by the scroll system in order to make her worthy of Im, a most objectionable form of marriage service. He goes so far as to clothe Helen as an ancient temple maiden. When I say clothe, I use the word in a rather unilateral sense, as a matter of fact. Perhaps you had better see the picture, and then you will recognize why I am rather at a loss for the correct word to use in place of clothe.
You've never seen a bitch this naked, people.
I guess that's what he's getting at. Anyhow, he is about to sacrifice Helen with a nasty-looking knife that does not appear to be sharp enough for the purpose, and then things begin to happen all at once. If you can attune your mind to receive as reasonable the possibility of a mummy coming to life after 4,500 years interment, the picture is quite convincing. Boris Karloff makes a most repulsive spectacle of Im, portraying him as just the kind of man who would enjoy strangling people by wireless. The photography is well done, but there are some discrepancies in the work at the archaeological camps that indicate that there are quite a number of things that the producers do not know about archaeological research. However, as a cold shivers film, Mummy is good average stuff. Wowzers.
I think that one's great. That's emblematic of what we're looking for on great reviews of history. It starts off with the guy being like, "You gotta see the size of this dude. You've never seen a motherfucking actor this big. Holy shit." That always gets me when they gotta take a minute to be like, "Whoa,
yeah, that's true."
The freak they found to play this part, it's amazing.
I think that was right. The creature from the Black Lagoon was just like some stellar athlete who could swim good, and it was like a former Marine. They're like, "Boy, this guy is a hunk of a man. Welcome to Hollywood."
Yeah, they're so enamored. And then it also makes me think, like, science fiction was over 100 years old at this point, right? Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe, they'd all ran their course well before this movie coming out. Nathaniel Hawthorne, I think, even predates us by quite a lot. So to be like, if your suspension of disbelief is capable of imagining a mummy come back to life, maybe you might think this is spooky, which I understand. You know, the effects are campy by today's standards, but it seems like people were pretty shook back then. They were flocking to the theaters for this biz.
Well, No, I got a picture of the clothed priest. She doesn't look too, I guess by today's standards, she doesn't look too scandalous.
Yeah, she just looks like she's going to Coachella.
yeah. She's got like a mesh dress on and a sparkly bra and a cool headdress. But in 1933, that was probably like, whoa, mama.
People were going to the theater just to see that scene and stuff, probably.
Boy, you ever see that? Oh my God.
I
don't know. It's just fun to look back at.
Yeah.
How they talked about these things.
Right. When film to us seems such like a classic, timeless medium, but to them it was still a gimmick almost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for bringing us back in time, teaching us about the M. That was the other thing I was gonna say. The generation that was such a stickler about our learning grammar and how to write in school can't even fucking type out Emotep every time.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he just did it for the one sentence where he said "im" and "er."
Right, yeah, that was a cute little joke, but come on, man. If it's for like so you could fit another sentence or two at the end in your word count for the newspaper, I'll let it slide. But I think you're just being lazy.
Yeah.
But speaking of classic horror, from Amazon, we got the greatest works of Edgar Allan Poe.
Ooh.
Deluxe hardbound edition. This is like a pretty fancy little book. Got like the gold foil silhouette cover going on. Edgar Allan Poe's got the red foil lettering. Dawson titles their review, "A book made of tissue paper." They write, "Overall, this is a good read. There does seem to be some fairly obvious downside to the book, unfortunately. The material used for the pages is see-through and extremely flimsy. I've often found myself actively trying not to cause damage rather than read the content of the book. It definitely takes away from the experience of reading, but the actual poems and letters are well done since it's mainly just a reprint, but compiled together. 3 stars.
Come on. You shouldn't have bought that book to read it. I don't know what to tell you. But
yeah,
like you'll find that in Bibles a lot, or like super large. We got like an old dictionary that is a huge, like it's 8 inches thick. And yeah, they got those thin papers because it's like the biggest dictionary I've ever seen. and they're just trying to cram a bunch of stuff in there and not take up your whole bookshelf.
Right. This is a more of an aesthetic book purchase than it is. I want to read all of Edgar Allan Poe's stuff.
Yeah. You see it in like complete works of William Shakespeare as well. Like, are you really going to sit down and read a play from one of those big tomes? I don't think so. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I had someone in my Shakespeare class. That's what they would bring to class every day. Was a giant, literally like bigger than their desk when they opened it, like complete works of Shakespeare book. And also, like, it turned out that they were like missing entire sections were cut and stuff. It was like hardly a loving compilation. It was definitely just like, oh yeah, you can, if you want the complete works of Shakespeare on your shelf, then this would be a good way to do it.
Yeah, wink, wink. Yeah, if you want to look like you're a fan. You did this to yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think so. You gotta, like, just get an ebook these days or, you know, get the poem collection and then the novel collection or something. You're setting yourself up for failure here. Do you have a spooky review?
I do. I've got a Google review for Midnight Terror Haunted House, #1 must-see haunted house. It's somewhere in Illinois. Down that way, you know. It's
down in the scary part of Illinois.
Yeah, it's near Joliet, so kind of
with the farms.
This is a review from Anthony Casillas. Anthony writes, I went on Friday 10/3 with my best friend and her son. I must say, this haunted house was bogus as hell. Straight trash. The actors were really annoying than scary. I didn't like how they kept getting in our personal space and even touching us. I could swear they couldn't touch us just like we couldn't touch them, but they still did. Overall, it wasn't even scary, rather cliche than anything. The rooms were weirdly set and was super predictable when they were going to jump up at you. The thing that really pissed me off, that made me done with the whole thing, was when we were in the last room in the end with people with the chainsaws before the final exit. The last girl actor before the exit was with her chainsaw and she was scraping the saw in the floor and she literally threw dirt on my entire group's new shoes with the chainsaw. That pissed me the hell off. I couldn't believe she just threw dirt on all of our shoes. We all literally stopped as soon as it happened in our tracks and looked at each other to see if we all seen what she just did to us. Then we stared at her. Her eyes was wide open because she knew she messed up. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I leaned forward to her to tell her, why the hell would she do that to us? And if she was stupid? We just walked out after. That ruined the whole experience for all of us. I do not recommend this haunted house to anyone. I would say go elsewhere. If I can give them no stars, I would. But they can get 1 star for the horrible experience. Never again. 1 star.
They got debris on my Jordans, and then their eyes got big.
Their eyes got bad.
Oh, man. So yeah, we did our regular Halloween tradition. We all went to Foot Locker and got brand new shoes before we go to the haunted house.
We put our fresh suede on, yeah, for sure. You know, you gotta show up at the haunted house. People are gonna be seeing you. I don't care if it's dark. People are gonna be seeing you there.
There's no better place to break in some running shoes than at a haunted house. You know, it's sort of perfect sprint burst to rub down some of the areas of the interior there.
You know your feet are gonna be sweating just a bit.
But not too much, because it's Halloween and it's chilly, and maybe you'll have some apple cider afterwards.
Yeah.
That is the funniest thing to get upset about. That is such like I need something to be really pissed about at this experience. So this mad review is like worthy of putting out into the world. So, oh yeah, she got my shoes dirt. She got the ground on my shoes.
And then her eyes got wide. Like, something tells me the person wielding the chainsaw at the haunted house generally has wide eyes all the time.
Yeah. And I don't know. We've been in haunted houses, at least in college, right? We're doing our dorm would be turned into a haunted house.
Yes.
I don't remember how long you lived in the old Johnson. It's a tough thing when someone indifferent to your trying to be scary is going through the haunted house. It's like, what do you do? Oh, getting some dirt on them worked before. She ain't looking at you because she gives a shit about your shoes. She's just trying to gauge your reaction so she can, improv and be scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little bit of intimidation.
Right, a little intimidation, a little chainsaw. The fake chainsaws are always pretty funny to me. I'm the kind of guy who's scared at haunted houses. I don't want to go. I don't want to be touched and looked at, and just the act of someone pretending to be a monster and trying to scare me. It's just too much awkward energy for like my anxious heart to take. So not only am I like uncomfy because I'm scared, I'm uncomfy with like the social ramifications of it. So I can't talk too much. This is the same type of shit that would bother me, but I'm not. That's why I'm not going into these haunted houses. Again, someone setting themselves up for failure here.
I got another one. I don't know that we'll have much to say about it. Annie Cusack writes, the haunted house was great. The magician you have is a creep. He followed my daughter, her friends, and myself onto 111th and asked her friend to look in her purse for quarters. I have a video of her giving the quarters back during the trick. I will be stopping in to make sure this gets handled. He was super creepy, and following us was uncalled for. Beware. 1 star. And there's, she attached a screenshot of her video of the magician, little mustachioed guy with a vest, standard magician. But I don't know who to believe here. I kind of feel bad for Mr. Magic. If he's like, hey, there should be some quarters that I magically put in your purse. I really need them back. I can only put them in with magic. I can't take them back out.
Right. They were trying to get rid of them, and he's like, "Hey, actually, I need those. I need those for work.
The trick's not done. You need my quarters."
Yeah, I do kind of see it that way. Now that you mention it, how else could it have gone down than like, actually, guys, hey, did you have those quarters? Kind of need those. My boss is going to be pissed if I ask for another few dollars in quarters.
They got to be blessed by, Great Zippo, the magic man of the Midwest.
Right. Yeah, the chainsaw lady at the end of the ride's gonna fucking throw dirt on me again if I don't get recorders at the end of the night. So, but I suppose that's Halloween.
That's it.
I hope you all have a great spooky season. Thanks for making us a part of it. As you know, because you're a real one who listens to the end of every episode like a boss. Yeah. We got new episodes every Tuesday. That's right. #Tuesday, Reviewlsday. If you'd like to send an absurd review for us to muse over, please send an email with a hyperlink to the review or a screenshot, whatever you gotta do, to reviewparty.com@gmail.com. Include your name so we can give you some credit for it.
If you want to contact us in some other way, shape, form, or fashion, you can find us on social media. @reviewparty.com is Instagram and TikTok. @reviewpartypod is Twitter/X. We've also got a website, reviewparty.com, where you can find all of our content-ish. Maybe I'll should put some links up there to get to the other places, like Letterboxd and YouTube. But there's a blog there. There's a shop there. There's listening platforms there. If you're boycotting Spotify for some reason, like people seem to be wanting to do right now, you can find a new listening platform there on our website.
Yeah, we hate them all too, but it's, we put a lot of eggs in this basket, so we're riding this one to the bottom, for better or for worse.
They're not getting ad money out of us anyway, so.
No, they ain't getting
that we're
nothing.
we're costing them money by hosting all of these hours of podcast.
Yes, exactly. What I gotta talk about some stuff. Nosebleeds. Yeah, they let us use their song "Bread for Breakfast" throughout the episode. Cool dudes. If you like that kind of jamming and you want to hear some more, search for them. Nosebleeds. If you don't like Spotify, you can do it on YouTube. Probably you'll find them. Handsome old dudes. Follow, subscribe, favorite. Hit the button whatever the button is, wherever you listen. Hit it. Especially if it's a review, leave 5 stars. If you leave a funny 5-star review somewhere, we'll definitely read down the air. I haven't checked iTunes for a minute. Maybe there might be some goods there. But let me send us off with this review here. We got from Amazon ZPISF 1,400 square foot Halloween spider web decorations with 150 extra fake spiders, super stretchy cobwebs for Halloween decor, indoor and outdoor. It's those big old fake cobwebs.
Yes, love them.
Because America is scared of someone not dusting for a couple of years. Mark August titles their review "No Spiders." They write, "Web was good, but it was supposed to come with 150 spiders, and it came with 0 spiders. 3 stars.
Hey, man, I'd be griping too.